Toronto Marlies at morning skate here at Ricoh Coliseum as they get ready to take on the Syracuse Crunch for the 4th time this season. They have beaten the Crunch 3 times, but the last couple of games have been tight, Bob, and this Syracuse Crunch team just came off a couple of big wins against a solid club in Wilkes-Barre.
You're right. Did Toronto Marlies a favor, actually, beating the division, Atlantic Division leading Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins back-to-back last weekend. And I think that's a good thing when you look at the overall standings. But you're right. They've beat this Crunch team 3 consecutive times this year. Once down in Syracuse and back-to-back games here at the Ricoh Coliseum. But both those games very tight. 2-1 and a 3-1 game. The second one being an empty net goal. So you know what? It was a real tough battle, and I think they're a very quick team, and it'll be interesting to see what transpires here tonight, because the Marlies are on the threshold of establishing a new club record as far as wins are concerned. They can win their 8th consecutive victory here tonight, or win their 8th consecutive game. That'll be a new team record, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun and a great challenge for this hockey club.
Kind of amazing considering how many good quality teams have gone through here that 7 is really the mark that they have to beat. So they have currently tied that record. Looking at some of the performances over the weekend that of note, certainly Kirby Reichel, one of those who seems to have caught fire. Yeah,
and good on Kirby. You know, it's something where you know, he led the club in scoring last year, and he's had a tough time getting going offensively here in his 2nd year in a Marley uniform. And he had an assist on Saturday in the victory against Belleville in that shootout victory on Saturday at the Air Canada Centre, but a goal and 2 assists on Sunday, and I think that was something that it was a real shot in the arm for him. I like the way he's been playing and competing. He's trying to you know, establish that 5-on-5 presence, which I think is important, and I like the way the Marlies did that on Sunday's game against Belleville, is to score some goals at 5-on-5, which they need to do on a more consistent basis.
Well, you talk about establishing. You don't get much time to establish yourself in the American Hockey League. You got to do it quick. You can't wait around a year. You can't wait around even 10 games. Miro Altonen has started to establish himself.
Yeah, he really has, and you know, I thought that it would maybe take him a little bit of time to get used to the North American game. He had an excellent training camp with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and essentially the last cut before the regular season started. He came down to the American Hockey League after playing in the KHL last year, and you know, he showed you know, everybody in the KHL that he's an offensive type player. He had 19 goals, and you know, it's something where he was, you know, trying to feel his way around the North American game a little bit, but he's gotten there. And he's got Kasperi Kapanen on one side and Andreas Johnsson on the other. And I think that threesome has really been terrific. The last few games are really starting to establish themselves, you know, offensively. Well, tonight we'll have the game for you on Leafs Nation Network as it starts at 7 o'clock. The Syracuse Crunch and the Toronto Marlies, a North Division matchup in the American Hockey League.